liberty we were denied. Terra turned her back on us. World call to
Impossible. Your death has come. Elude me. Your death. Impossible.
You will fracture like glass.
Eludes
Nowhere to run.
What's up guys, it's Volka. So this is an update to the Rippled Warlock build. And first off, I would say don't play this build as like a starting build. You need the gear with this build to make it work. But when you do get the gear, it gets pretty crazy. So my gear is still not quite at the endgame planner level. So this character has like 400% cast speed. So the endgame planner you can get like 550 or something like that. So if you get crazy altars and you max roll everything and stuff like that. So this character has, let's see the blade time here. So this character has about, I guess 2 days or so time played. And this is my gear so far. So pretty much going for 1 LP items. So corrupted ward cannot kill here. So you actually getting the corruptions on this build is pretty crazy. They add a lot of value. So I'm trying to get like the ward on cast, affixes on the gloves, wand and catalyst. So this is basically a 2 LP wand. You can get a lot of these wands by the way from Rune Prison Complex. So this bow and echo just imprinted in the web. So that's what I'm doing. Get all the nodes here, Exiled Mage, doubled, and imprint Rune Prison Complex for the wand. So you can get a lot of them. So these corruptions not amazing on these, just basically just like normal items without corruptions. Catalyst, I got the cast speed one that we want, the ward gain of cast. I have low tier, so T3 only. Try to improve that. Trying to get stun immunity on the chest, so this is the best so far. I've got +1 skills, but stun immunity I think is gonna be very, very insane. Stuns in the game are quite like scary now. You get stunned easily. So stun immunity is going to be good. So this is my collection of collection of corrupted Wall of Nothings here. So a bunch of chests, all with E7 increased HP. But this is the best so far, and the affix is kind of rare, the stun immunity. So it's not as common as the other ones. And you can get a lot of ladles, by the way, like I said. And yeah, but boots, really good boots I made yesterday. So basically perma cleanse. So when you evade, you you cleanse your ailments and stuff. So the curses get reapplied instantly after. So that's completely fine. And you have stuff like the damned on kill here. So this is also all gonna be cleansed. You don't really care about the more damage from this node anyways, because you only get it for like mapping anyways. You have enough damage for that situation. So but cleanse, amazing. So something like Uber. I feel like this is like you really want to get this, so you don't have to use like a potion or something. So, and speaking of Uber, I'm hoping to make like an online Uber kill on this character, but I need more gear, so I want to get more damage basically. Tanking is already fine, but you can get so much more damage on this build basically. So I'm hoping to hoping to improve the gear and then make the video for that. It's already doable though, but it would take a bit like too long for my taste. And the helmet, so we're using Seed of Yggdrasil, so no more Bone Clamor. It's just free tankiness. It doesn't do anything for ward, but for your HP, it's a nice extra protection. It basically gives you like a just more like one-shot protection, so that's nice. And of course, we're building HP on the build. Also good stats, easy to get 1 LP and all that stuff. So from Aberrod, so very good item to use. And you're generating a lot of mana with Ripblood. So if you get hit, then your mana goes down. It's completely fine. You just generate it back. Just a Swine Amulet with Madness, so I don't have crit multi on this. Kind of like clearing setup with the area, so you can get a lot more damage if you go crit multi or increase physical damage or something like that, which you usually do go for that, especially since you can get a lot of area already here, so you don't really need I think you should prioritize DPS most of the time, but Madness makes the build even more DPS. Gives you crit multi per int, and we don't care about the reduced bonus stuff because you get crit avoidance, so crit avoidance blessing and 1 D5 on the belt here. So Madness is kind of like free damage pretty much. We don't need ward retention. You get ward decay threshold already, and ward is more like kind of like just extra on top. Like HP is the real thing that's gonna save you, from like actual high damage. But of course the ward does help. Okay, especially like against one shots, so you have a high HP pool basically. Ward is nice, but yeah, Madness is good pretty much. And then the relic, just basic 1 LP. Corruption doesn't do anything on this. The dexterity is useless. You can get stuff like Frenzy or just corrupting like int would be insane. So like int is like crazy value on the build. You get the Madness, crit multi, you get the normal just increased damage from int, and then you also get the minus physical res from Aura of Decay. So it's like very insane. Like even one single point of int is like at least 1% more damage, even if you have a lot of int already. So for example, on the red ring here, I'm missing quite a bit of int. So I don't have like another red ring with 1 LP, so just has corruption int. So for example, the 11 int I'm missing here is a lot of damage. So this build is like definitely gear dependent, and it really wants everything max rolled, and you want every single piece of like int and like every single point of everything. Like even missing a bit of cast speed on the idols makes a huge difference, right? Because like all of these are going to be boosted by the altar and the relic and stuff. And so I did get double red rings. I have more here. Like I have like 5 red rings, so these are easy to get on COF. Just get prophecies. I don't play MG, but at least on COF it's pretty easy with ring prophecies. And this one is, I would say, like a finished item. Maybe I corrupted at some point. And the idols on this build, extremely important. Just getting the cast speed prefix is quite easy, like without any good suffix. I got these like basically day 1, like a bunch of these idols. You can use prophecies again, like ornate idol prophecies. They help. Getting the omen idol is gonna be, it's gonna take grind. Ideally, you get physical spell crit on the suffix. It should be very doable though, because basically getting a class affix is much more common than getting like a non-class affix. So trying to get, for example, like this idol here with like HP suffix, it's much harder. And that's why also I don't have physical rest yet on any of my idols. So I'm forced to use the physical rest blessing for now. So I'm missing a lot of damage from the, not having the physical shred. So waiting to get like a nice idol to improve from there. But my idols otherwise, they're decent rolled. This one is actually kind of good. And I like to go for one of these like less damage over than taken suffixes, so you get some dot mitigation. So with the boosts, you can double the effect and even more. So that's like 20% less dot taken with one suffix, so quite nice. But yeah, like this I would replace with physical res ideally. And yeah, and if you go, you go physical spell crit on the suffix and on the suffix here, like you don't need any physical spell crit on helmet, and you should just go for +4 marrow shards anyways. It's fine if you're missing some crits, and then you can, you get the idols, and eventually you will be capped on crit chance, so that's fine. +4 marrow shard is very, very nice, so getting all the area is very impactful. I have this extra point on every skill because I have the +1 skill, so these are not on the max roll guide, for example. You don't usually get these, but if you get some extra points, you can get some crit multi and stuff here. And the skills on the setup, so pretty much like I have on the max roll guide, the same exact thing. For bossing, you should, like for Uber, change some passives or some skills. So of course you don't need area for Uber, so you can maybe go for something like this here for a bit more damage. For Uber you can drop the explosion, maybe go for more armor shed. So, but with high cast speed you don't need any armor shed except the one on the wand. So you want to be high rolling the armor shed here, so get like at least 30%, but 40% plus would be good. But this also helps. And also getting one bone armor here, by the way, when you're like killing stuff, it's nice for omens. It's gonna be pretty much always up. You can also go 2 points if you feel like you want kind of like more uptime for hardcore and stuff, but that's 8% less damage taken for like clearing basically. And some people have been asking like how to like sustain mana and stuff, because Bone Curse does it does reduce your mana, like drain your mana, right? It slowly goes down, but I mean you just hit stuff basically. Like that's the main thing. You hit enemies with Reply to generate mana. So you need to play like aggressively, and if you really if you really feel like you want to reduce the drain, just spec these nodes, right? So for example, take some points out of the more damage here, and spec as many as you want, even up to 4 points. So this is gonna basically make it so you don't like drain at all. It's actually at some point, depending on your mana region, it's gonna actually, your mana is gonna go up. So, but I don't feel like I need any of these for like how I play the game, because I play like very active and stuff. So optimally, you don't spec any of these. You can get more damage and stuff. So that's nice. But that's how you solve the mana if you feel like you need it needs solving, and just getting mana regen also helps. So for example, like red rings, they come with mana regen. You can get on altars, you can get the suffix like per ornate idol, you get increased mana regen. This helmet has a bit of mana regen. Just getting maximum mana helps. So all of that stuff is makes a difference. But this is like the optimal like how I play basically. Other than that, the skills are same as before mostly. So actually on Marrow Shard we have the new tree, because this ended up being very, very good, very insane. The Splinter Nova, way more AoE than I was thinking. So as you can see here, with the max AoE and also AoE on the amulet, the AoE gets pretty nice. So helps with clear speed, and it's good for omens. I think you should always spec, like, you get the +4 on the helmet, you should always spec for mapping, all of these nodes, very good. So Splinter Nova, really, really amazing. And basically the build is much better than I was thinking pre-patch. And other than that, just maxing out the damage with all the nodes. On Fisher you can spec this if you want, it just doesn't do anything except changes the visuals, so it's gonna look different. Thornslinger gives you +1 physical skills, so it doesn't actually cost any points to convert to physical, but it doesn't like do anything for the build except a visual change. And we can take a look at the damage kind of on the dummy. So like I said, it's gonna be much higher with the endgame planner. If you get more than that, like this build just scales forever and forever. I really like playing the build because you always have something to like go for, some item to improve, and every single affix makes a huge difference. So you can easily get like easily, but like endgame planner would be like double damage or something like that with max rolls. I'm missing so many things, like I said, the crit multiplier, the shred, int on the rings, stuff like that. So getting more LP on everything, getting corruptions, and stuff like that. So lots of things to improve, lots of room left for making this even more crazy. Definitely a very, very solid build, and tankiness feels good now with the setup we have here. decent amount of HP, like 3k HP you usually get with like this type of gear. You can get, you know, some more HP from the idols, you can get just more LP on items, but most likely you end up with around 3k HP plus your ward. And you can also, by the way, corrupt this with like damage taken to mana, so the same affix that's on the helmet, you can get a corruption. I'm not sure if I would want it, because it's gonna be like, if you get like a T7, it's gonna be almost like 50% of damage dealt to mana, so you might get mana issues at that point. But you can also get other stuff, like, I mean, just corrupting like increase HP or corrupting the entrance threshold affix, like that would be good, you know. So I mean, depends what you get. I don't have anything good yet here as a corruption, but that's an option. Like, you can get like Chiga damage taken to mana, so it can make you very, very tanky. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the setup, and I hope you enjoy the build. I'm gonna keep updating it, gonna keep playing it, gonna keep, you know, maxing out the setup, and hopefully Uber video soon as well, when it's like, you know, I have more stuff. And yeah, thanks for watching. See you in the next one.